There we go. If we start now. So thank you for joining us for our virtual subject information session for electrical. So my name is Sophie and I am the designer and digital marketing coordinator here at East Coast College. Just to make you all aware, we will be recording this session. That's just so that other students that weren't unable to attend this evening can view it again. In this session, we'll be covering electrical, and our tutors, Brent, Thomas and Darren, will be giving you an overview of the course and will answer a few of your questions. There's a Q&A box just at the bottom of your screen. So if you do find that you have any questions, please pop them in there and we'll get back to them at the end. I'll now hand you over to our electrical team, who's going to talk a little bit more about our courses.
Okay, welcome everyone. It's strange to talk to a screen and not see anything here, but hopefully you can hear me okay. Yes, so my name's Tom. I teach electrical at the Great Yarmouth campus, and you can also see Brent and Darren there. They are the tutors for the Lowestoft campus. But what we'll be doing today is just giving you brief information about really both of them, because we offer the same teaching across both campuses. So wherever you go, you'll get the same qualifications and you have the same lessons and be doing that. As you can see on the slideshow, electrical installation level 2 is what we start with. So when you apply, you'll start into electrical level 2 and you'll have the opportunity to move on to the level 3 course. Just a bit of a background for the level 2. It's a full-time course that you'll be going on to, if you aren't already aware. And that is generally around 2 days a week. In those 2 days, what you'll be doing is most of the time, you'll be doing the practical work. You'll be in the workshop, learning the hand skills, learning and understanding what it is required to do as an electrician. So even if you have no idea of how to hold a screwdriver or hold a pair of side cutters, that doesn't matter. That's what you're there for, to learn those basic and simple skills and move on to more advanced electrical work. So most of your time is going to be in that workshop learning those skills. But as you see here, it says you will study health and safety, environmental technology systems, electrical science, testing, design. You learn about the regulations and also fault finding as well. So there's a variety of theory lessons that you will be able to learn and get involved with. Don't know if Brent or Darren wants to add to that at all for the level 2.
I think at the level 2, it's when you come in at that sort of level, you do 4 exams that year, which are online assessments. So we have very little sort of paper-based assessments to do. We do one on health and safety, which is a multiple choice on-screen assessment. You do one on electrical science and principles. You go on to one on installation technology, and your last exam of the year is I forget what the title they give it, Tom. What's it called?
I don't know.
The 5B. I keep
craft skills. I would call it craft skills, but
yes, yeah. It's more or less because I've just come back to working at Lowestoft College after a gap of a few years, or Lowestoft campus after a gap of a few years. So it's kind of a little bit new to me as well for the layout of the EAL qualification. Within the level 2 as well, you've got a practical assessments to do. So we teach you through the basic stuff, literally from how to strip a cable to how to wire up lighting circuits, ring final circuits, consumer units, etc. We'll go through the basics of testing at level 2. And also within the science principle exam, you've got a couple of small written assessments to do, which are classroom based and marked in-house. Once you've gone through all of those assessments, should you achieve them all, that's when you get your level 2. And then from there on, your progression, if you want to work in the industry, would be to get onto the level 3 course.
We do have a hand raised here. Do we answer questions now? This is from Wazil, I think.
Yeah, if you've got a question, Wazil, if you could just pop that in the Q&A box, the team can answer that. I'll just carry on for now.
Yep, that's fine. So that's the level 2. The level 3 is obviously the progression route from level 2. If we feel that you are able to progress forward, because which we hope all of you will be able to do. The level 3 would be your next kind of port of call. Oh, there's an accident. Okay, no worries. Yeah, so level 3, again, that turns around, you've got a lot of practical involved with the level 3, but it's more to do with like understanding more advanced electrical systems, more about testing in full, and fault diagnosis. That's the practical side. Most of the level 3 turns out to be theory. So you've got a lot of electrical design, which you'll be doing online exams for and a written paper for. You've got the electrical science, which again is an online exam and a written paper. And then you have quite a few other kind of theory lessons involved as well with that. So a lot of the time you'll be in level 3 learning about the theory behind all of what we do. But really your focus won't be level 3 in my opinion right now, because that'll be your next step. Level 2 is what you want to focus on. Anything else, Brent or Darren?
Yeah, can I just say that, you know, obviously I do talk about level 3 through the level 2 course, but from an early stage I talk about commitment, because the level 3 does need a great, well, all our courses need commitment, but the level 3 really does need a great deal of commitment, because I don't consider any of the units to be a walk in the park. You really have to be committed, you know, to wanting to become an electrician and be able to work towards that. Is that okay? Yeah, it's just my thoughts on it, really.
Well, that's it. We expect you to work hard, level 2, show us that you're earnest, that you desire to actually achieve the course, not just be there because you want to be there, really, you know, make something of it. And then hopefully we can then progress you into level 3 if that suits and if that works for you, definitely. Okay, so the next slide. Progression route. So it says on here, after you complete your level 3, it says HNC and HND, which is an option. You could always do higher education. That's what those are. They're moving forward into more electrical engineering, higher education. However, most of you normally are heading towards the apprenticeship. That's the route that we feel that most students go towards. And if you're an older learner, an adult learner, then it may be working in industry and going in a different route other than apprenticeship. But basically, you've got to understand that once you complete your level 3, you're not a qualified electrician. You've still got to kind of go through some other kind of qualifications to achieve that status. And the apprenticeship is the one which most of you will go towards and find basically an employer who would take you on and sign you up as an apprentice with them. And that will be kind of in tandem with the college. The college would then work with the employer that you would be signing up with, and you'll be able to achieve apprenticeship via that. Do you want to explain any more, Brent or Darren, about that?
Well, as it says in the paragraph, you've also got opportunities to, you know, branch out into electrically related industries such as CCTV and stuff like that, maybe working wind turbines offshore, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, etc. So these are things that are not strictly electrician roles, but have electrical elements to them. So, you know, you could find yourself diverting off on a different path at the end of the course. But, you know, the basic part of it is you need to, you know, have that basic electrical understanding of circuits, etc., that you get at level 2 and level 3. So you might not necessarily end up as an electrician, but it could take you in other directions.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people think, oh, I want to be an electrical engineer, or I want to go offshore and, you know, work there. But really, you need the grounding of this electrical first before you can go, you know, anywhere kind of with, you know, within those different industries. Right now, we know that, you know, solar panels and wind turbines and all the renewable energies are the kind of the way that everyone's looking to go, and that is great. But you need to kind of have the grounding first, the electrical, you know, grounding to kind of move forward.
It is that starting point, isn't it, where you have to understand the basics of electricity, what it is, how it works, how to inspect, how to test, and then you take that forward into whatever role you go into at the end of the course. So whether at the end of level 3, you might decide to go down one of the particular routes you've got on screen, or something that's related to the electrical industry, not necessarily electrician. over the years, we had several students go down the route of working offshore, for argument's sake. So, we give them the basics of that. But as an electrician, one of the things we don't do, or within the regulations that we deal with, we don't deal with things that are actually offshore. But the principles and the science and the understanding behind that particular job role are the same for everybody.
Definitely.
Can I just say that, I mean, this week I have put a job vacancy out to my level 3 full-time group, and I think you must have had it at Yarmouth as well, the refrigeration engineer. I mean, that is a nice job, seriously. And if I'd have been younger, if I'd have been 18, I'd be going after that. That's a nice job, isn't it? Yeah. Well paid, good money when you're qualified. Need to be able to do electrics, generally a qualified electrician, but you're going to be able to do refrigeration as well. And the other thing I want to say is I noticed Birdseye had an apprenticeship, although not through the college, for a food processing engineer that was advertised recently. Food processing engineers are generally fully qualified electricians. They have engineering qualifications as well. But when you're qualified, the wages are good. Now, around here, the opportunities are less. But, over towards Peterborough and that, food processing is big. And, they'll pay £55,000 to a qualified adult. Over this side, I think it's more likely to be about 45, but it's still very good money. You really can set yourself onto a good career. That's all I want to say, really.
That's it. Yeah, and what we're saying is this level 2, level 3, it's the start of not just a job, you've got a career path, and that's what it's all about. Just a side note, looking at that picture, don't take that picture as the work that we do. That's not very good work there, so I wouldn't.
No, I can see
photo and put it on here, but yeah, I would fail that work if I saw it, just to say. So, yeah, good. I think that's kind of the 2 main slides there. Any questions, really?
Okay, so if we move over to questions, just gonna have a look. Go. So our first question this evening is, are there any work experience opportunities on the course?
So for work experience, that is part of your actual course program. So your course program, just to kind of clarify that, it is mainly electrical. However, you would also be required to do other things, such as tutorials and PSD sessions. But also we have the opportunity to try and get you some work experience throughout that year. Now, obviously, there's a lot of students, and trying to get each of you a slot of work experience is not always possible. However, we try our best to get you some experience where we can. But we would always advise you for yourself. So I have right now 18 students who are on my level 3, and out of those 18, I've got about 6 of them have done their own searching and got their own work experience in the meantime. So we always encourage you to do that. Find an employer who would take you on in while you're at college at the same time, getting some work experience.
Great, thank you. So just got another question. So they've said, will they need to buy anything, or will everything be provided by the college?
Great Yarmouth, I don't know if it's slightly different at Lowestoft, but at Great Yarmouth, we always require you to buy a level 2 EAL book.
we do.
Of course. Is that the same?
That's the only thing. I mean, all the tools are for the actual practical tasks, etc., are provided. Apart from the fact in classrooms you have to provide your own stationery and writing materials, and etc. Calculator for any calculations you need to do. We provide all the tools and everything. The only time that you will probably need to buy it, apart from the course books, so at level 2 and level 3, there's books that we recommend by Trevor Lindsley that writes a book which is specifically aimed at the EAL qualification. The only other time you might need to buy anything at level 2 would be for the installation technique unit, because you require an on-site guide, which is an IET publication, and the exam itself is what they call an open book exam. So to answer some of the questions, you will need that publication. So from a Lowestoft campus point of view, it's 2 course books and an on-site guide, which you probably won't need at the outset anyway, because that's the 3rd exam you do. So you'll get part way into the course before you actually need that.
Details of those books will give you at enrollment and when you kind of get there, so you can have a better idea of that. But also the workshop, we require boots as well. You need to make sure you have boots, steel toe cap boots in the workshop. So provide them yourself. So if you have problems with that, then you can always speak to Student Finance and they will be able to help you with that.
Great, thank you. So someone has asked, so how much of the course is practical and how much is theory based?
Well, sorry, it's roughly 50-50. So we do on a full-time course, you attend 4 sessions a week with us. We do 2 sessions a week of theory work and 2 sessions a week of practical work. So it's roughly half and half at level 2.
Perfect, great. Just going to check if we've got any more questions. So I think that may be the last one. Good. No, that's all of the questions done for this evening. So thank you for joining us. If you haven't yet applied, you can head over to our website, which is shown on the screen, and fill out an application form. You can now also find details about all of our other courses available on there as well. If you need to get in touch again or you have any further questions, you can email us at heretohelp@eastcoast.ac.uk and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you for joining us this evening and we hope you have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.